Right. For those of you who have children at private school or are thinking of sending them to private school, you've really got to think about it really, really hard these days. In the Times today, they've just announced that it's going to cost on average about £500,000 to send a child to private school all the way from age 5 until 18. That's £500,000. That's a hell of a lot. Now, for myself, I have two children. My son went all the way from private school from age 4, 5 up to 18 in private school in Surrey, and then my daughter at the same time again started at age 4 or 5 and went up to 16. Now, we took her out at 16 because we realised that going to a private school seemed to have a disadvantage if you're trying to apply for universities. As we've seen over the last few years, some of the universities see, oh, private school, okay, we don't necessarily want to take that candidate or potential candidate. So now, was private school worth it for my children? I think, in essence, they were great schools, okay, and they made some great friends. They really came out pretty, hopefully, as good individuals, and now they're making their way in the world. My son's at university studying engineering. My daughter's in a state school doing her A-levels, and hopefully she'll go on to new pastures soon. But we do have to question £500,000 to send your child to private school. And now with the raise in VAT in January of 20%, which adds another like 75 grand to make it 500 grand over the lifetime, is a lot of money. And now that £500,000 could be invested in other things, such as property, such as a nest egg for those children. And many times, people who are sending their kids to private school, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of pressure just to make that money to actually pay for the school fees. Now, I have two kids. I know many people who have more than two kids, so sending more than two kids to private school is even bigger pressure. So the question is it actually worth it? Now, I'm not going to give an answer here, but you have to question it whether it's worth it, because there are many, many, many great state schools. I'm a product of the state system many, many years ago, and my wife is a product of the state system. And what I've realised over the time is that even though my kids worked hard and do well, and they enjoyed their time at private school, made some great friend contacts, and confidence was really good. And particularly when I saw my son, his confidence was really, really strong and encouraged at his school. You have to question, is it worth that £500,000? Now, it's very difficult to put a price on education, but sometimes if you're stretching yourself, you have to think, well, there are many state schools that can do an equivalent job. And I think it all ultimately boils down to the individual child. Would I do it again now with the 20% increase in VAT? I'm not so sure if I would, looking back. Okay, I'm not so sure. I've seen some great state schools, some great kids coming out from great state schools, and it boils down to the child's attitude of what they want to do and how they want to do and how they want to pursue things. And therefore, we could have saved potentially £800,000-900,000 over the years. Anyway, that's for another day. But question that. Is it worth it? Is it worth it sending your children to private school? And for those of you starting out on this journey, and I'm someone who's at the end of that journey, I'm just raising that question for you to think about. Reach out if you have any questions. I'd be delighted to help. Thank you.